What is up, everyone? Welcome to a new vlog. It's been a while. This is like my catchphrase now. And also in the last video I said I wouldn't do as much YouTube as I used to before, which wasn't that much anyways, but here we are back at it again. Just figured after all, the response and interaction rates on YouTube just seems to be higher, and there seems to be more of a discussion coming out of videos. And after all, there's no reason for me to make content exclusive for any reason, like other than like behind the scenes things that I'm gonna be doing simply on Patreon. Yeah, and after all, the whole Patreon free membership thing didn't work as I intended it to go. I just figured it would be more of a like, yeah, you join for free, but you get like all the same content, but some features were just simply not available to choose for free members as well. So yeah, here we are back at it, and today at a fairly new location. Never filmed a video here before. I think I haven't been to this park in at least 4 years. And there's two reasons for it. One, I'm not in Vienna, I'm not at home, I'm visiting friends and family. And two, my go-to skate parks are busy or just flooded, basically. So here we are, gonna do a quick tour afterwards. But main reason for me to do another video is I had a significant change in my skate setup. All right, so here we are. Skate setup right now that I'm rocking is my boots, my liner, as you can see right here and in the back. Customized it a tiny bit. Still skating it like stock basically. And what you might have seen, I switched frames. I went from the end-to-end frame to T-neck frames, simply because I wanted to skate white frames. There was literally no other reason for me to switch. And also what I like now that I have it is just it's slightly longer, looks a bit better, like more fitting to the boot. But then also I heard that Ente is doing medium frames this summer, so if I'm going back to dark frames, I'm probably gonna switch back. So yeah, I had some difficulties getting used to this frame just because it was like for me too much work to get into it, and I don't really like the concept of having to skate a rough spot for a frame to be just skatable in general. I like it having a shallow groove, and it gets better by like once you skate some like more aggressive materials like a rough curb or something. But I don't like it to be like a necessity for it to be skatable. So yeah, I had to borrow some tools to get like an ideal groove which resembles the Diri-Dari groove basically. Yeah. And then also personal preference, I carved out all the letters every side. Took a while, just want to have a blank one, and customized it slightly on this side. That's basically it. So yeah, all in all, now looks fairly nice. It looks really good actually. I'm very proud of this setup. But this is not the setup change I'm talking about. What I did change right now that is a game changer for me is I'm back on the shock absorber, which I abandoned for years now. First because just because for downsizing reasons, for some reason it wasn't that comfortable skating with a shock absorber, just because I was downsizing so much. That was before I skated the prime liners. I never tried the prime liners with a shock absorber, which I did now, and I noticed it's actually super comfortable, and I can actually it fits really well. And for all the tech heads out there, you probably know this already, but I did not know that the purpose of a raised heel or a raised heel boot in general is that it's easy to do top sides, or just like get the top side stance. So I saw that too, and I'm like, all right, you know what, I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna see how it feels. Gonna open up some doors for like gaps and just bigger spots in general to be available to me again, because I kind of turned my back on this, and I noticed that I'm kind of seeing more of these spots lately, and I kind of want to also get into skating these kind of spots again. So here we are. Only skated once so far, but it felt like a whole new world. Like it's so much more comfortable. I feel more secure in top sides. They feel like significantly easier, and I just think my overall posture is better, as in like it doesn't look different to the outside, I guess, but it just feels more stable, more secure. And this is basically it. So let's have a look at the park. Starting all over there, there's a roll in, a tiny one. Nothing spectacular. It's slightly small actually. There's a bump right here. Then there's the spot I actually came for, which is this rail. Super rusty. Needs to be waxed all the time, but once it is waxed, it's really nice. Has like this slight kink in there. And what I really like about it is like it starts and ends like a good half meter before the bank starts and ends. That's really nice. And then moving on over here is a very unique spot that I don't really see anywhere else. It resembles more of a skiing obstacle. So you have this spine transfer thing with the small launch right here. Kind of scary, and like the most useless bit over there. Makes no sense to me actually. Nothing slides over there, and it's, yeah, just, I don't know, sometimes fun to play around with, but just generally there's not really much to do here. And the reason why I know this skate park is not built or designed by skaters is right here. They just built a basketball and football court right next to this, which is whenever someone's playing right here, there's always gonna be something rolling around here. So I used to skate with shock absorbers when I was on rims all the time. I kind of stopped skating it once I started switching to sways, and it was kind of like the whole thing with downsizing and all. But just weird how, like, for some reason it just recently came up that I could just start trying it again, and it makes such a difference. I'm kind of curious to all the people that are watching this, like, if you are skating with shock absorbers or without, if you ever tried the other option, or what the actual reason is for your setup of choice, because I was always sure that no shock absorber was my best option, and now I'm here. All has changed. That was an absolutely disgusting fall. Kind of, well, you can see it here. Just took some of the rust off the rail, but what you can definitely see it is on the pants. I almost got sacked by this shin high rail. And that's kind of a thing with rails that are that low. You just fall high when you miss that awkwardly. And it also kind of comes in effect that just the ground is not even, but it's like this A-frame. It's like I don't know where I'm landing if I'm missing the trick. I just kind of try to save myself in the most awful way. Happens every now and then. That's also why I think true spin topsoul, for example, is this one trick that is just easier and more convenient on a higher spot, like on a higher rail. But what I did wrong, I usually don't like to like go too much into what I did wrong. It's just I missed basically. But I think what went into effect now that I just saved myself so poorly is that I did not jump off high enough. And like I would have been high enough to like hit the rail, but not high enough to like get my natural stance on there. Like even if I did not miss that trick, I wouldn't have made it all the way through, or at least not like safely and under control. That's kind of the thing. Like you always need to jump exactly high enough that you have your natural stance. And for me, it's very important, for example, to be like right centered on the rail, which I wasn't right now. And like that awkward thing happened where my body was leaning on one side of the rail and my foot was going on the other side, which is kind of why I got stuck there. But enough about this one. On to the next one. Session for today is done. It was a roller coaster ride, ups and downs. That super awkward true topsoul fall was so not necessary. Also because it kind of like, for me, it kind of sets a different tone for the rest of the session, as in overthinking a couple of things. Like I have to get back into the flow. But also I think it can be helpful in terms of just being aware of what you're doing and just not blindly going into things. At least that is my approach. So I always need to kind of find a balance between just kind of being risk aware and like not aware of like what could happen, but like what do I have to do to prevent things from happening, which helps me like be in focus. When I'm in focus, I can also save myself best. Sometimes bad falls happen. That's just the way it goes. But it's all good actually. It doesn't hurt at all anymore. The only thing is with the falls that I took, like my pants are my canvas now, as in got something right here. I fell on the side
up there. I don't think you can actually see it that way. Oh yeah, you can definitely see the back. Like everything is rusty on my pants. So I was just kind of like painting a whole picture on my pants, which looks weird. But back to the original point of the video, skating with shock absorbers. It is changing so much for me. I'm feeling more confident, just because it feels like my posture is right now. Like it's exactly how it should be. I'm feeling more secure in my tricks. And halfway through filming this thing, I noticed that I've been skating exclusively the rail, which I intended to in the first place. But what makes a difference skating a raised heel, now with a shock absorber in this example, apart from it absorbing a shock if you're jumping from a high gap, that is obvious. It definitely changes my, like, how I'm standing just in the right position. Like, I think it helps me jump in the right position. Like, my posture is exactly right, like I said like 4 times now. And it definitely helps me with top sides. That's why I added some very low effort angle wise shots later on. With that, I just noticed, like, I didn't grind many of them for too long. That's not the point of it. It's just like how it feels like there's just more sole plate. Like I'm standing in those tricks. I'm feeling more confident jumping into those tricks just because I know, like, it's easier to bend my foot like that. All in all, like, it just, I don't know how I skated without a shock absorber for so long. Like, now it's a whole different ball game now. I love it. And curious to hear what everyone else's take is on skating shock absorbers or like raised heel in general, because I think it's not like it's a 100% popular thing for people to skate raised heel boots or something like that in general. So let me know what you think. Drop it in the comments down there, not somewhere around here. And yeah, just to prove the point that you can actually hold topside, so here's one more topsole for you. That concludes the video. Hope you enjoyed watching it, and hope you appreciate my input on this thing. Curious to hear what everyone else's input is. So I'll see you in the next video. Till then, keep skating.